Okay, welcome to this next in this series about project management. In this small video, I'll be talking about the control process of the project. First off, follow up on the process can be either reactive or proactive, and this is also where I say the big difference between a good project manager and a poor project manager is. The good project manager will primarily focus on the proactive, making sure things does not go wrong. Anyone can say, yeah, this went wrong, sorry about that, but that we cannot use for anything. We can say, hey, okay, we lost the money, but I'd rather spend a little bit of money upfront to ensure that we don't get to that place. So therefore, we try to focus on the proactive project management issue handling, all right? But who controls? Well, first of all, of course, the project owner, the steering committee controls. They are the authority for the project, but it's also the project manager. He's the one who's taking the day-to-day control actions. This is done, for example, in the milestone reports. In the milestone reports, the project manager takes and makes a status of what is happening and provides this to the project owner, the steering committee, and to key stakeholders. Remember, I talked a little bit about the stakeholder analysis and the communication plan in a previous video. This is where the information actually comes from. There's also different perspectives and different levels of interest that we need to care about in the project control. We have the project owners and the steering committee. They're primarily looking for the project effect goals. So how is this actually going to work? Do we get the effects out of the project that we want? The project manager and the project steering committee are also looking at the project goals. Are we achieving the objectives that we set out to achieve? This is done by looking at the focal areas and milestones, activities and sub-activities. The control process starts in an estimation of the deviations. Where are we? What have we achieved more than we should, and what have we not achieved? So we're looking at the base, the status of where we are now. Then we take a look at what are the reasons, foundations for these deviations. What has gone wrong? Is it something just affecting things now, or is it something moving forward and something that we need to deal with moving forward on a larger scale? What should we do about it? Is it something we cannot do anything about? Is it a small issue? Well, then we just move forward. Or do we need to change the plan, update, communicate to our stakeholders? We make the action decisions and we decide how to follow up on it. Maybe it's the next meeting, maybe it's a mail, maybe it's a call to the relevant stakeholders. Remember, how much we do of this depends on the uncertainty of the project. Projects with high levels of uncertainty, which are critical, we will do continuous updates daily, weekly. Projects with less importance, well, maybe it's weekly, monthly, or maybe even half-yearly updates to a steering committee. It's also a matter of what's considered a success. If the project is not critical and the success is getting information, well, we don't do that much in terms of project follow-up control. The major places for providing updates and control status is the steering committee, it's the project meetings and the status reports. I'll start with the steering committee. Here we're looking at, and I've listed a small example of what an agenda could look like. Important events since last time, what has gone on, follow up on the issues that we had last time. Did we handle it? Did it go as expected? Are there changes to the project frame? Things that we need to address in order to keep the project on track. Remember, here we're getting into the proactive side of things. In the core project, we say results projects, expected deadlines, indications of project management success. So again, we're giving this status to ensure that we are on track and we foresee things. And this is the risk uncertainty. I'll get back to that in a later video, how we deal with the risks. Follow up on the important ones, stakeholder analysis, follow up, and the future. What are the critical events and what are the important things that we need to address that is coming up, and what potential risks do we have here? This is what we bring up with the steering committee. In the group meeting, the project group meetings, we go down a little bit. We take the information that we've gotten from the steering committee and our external stakeholders. Are there frames that we need to address? People who will not be able to participate in the project moving forward, people who should not participate in the project moving forward, and how is the project going on a social level? Remember from our kickoff meeting, the social level is important because we need to be able to work together. We need to be able to trust each other in this process. We also have the reporting. This is the written side of things. Remember, we had the primary audience, the people who are directly involved in the project and directly affected by the project. But we also have a secondary audience, people who indirectly is affected by it, who might see a summary of things. And in this report, we talk about the milestones, budget follow-ups, changes, especially changes to the scope is dealt with here, and the quality status. Finally, we visualize the report. Green issues are, well, everything is fine. We don't need to change anything, at least large things. We can deal with them within the project group. Yellow status is potentially risks, things where we would need the help to get the project on track. It might be technical help from the base organization or support from the project owner or the steering committee to free up resources. If we are in the red category, things are already off track and we need to solve it immediately. This is where we bring in the steering committee, the project owner, and say, hey guys, we need to do something right now. We want them to help us out. And it's okay, because every project will have things that go wrong. If there's one thing I can promise you, projects never, like in never, ever, goes entirely according to plan. That was the small presentation about the project control. See you in the next video.